What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance update video. And this one right here is all about Eve. But before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, every single person that is a member of Patreon, and every single person that is a subscriber as we continue to grow.
So it's my morning, my wedding. I totally had to run back to the house and get my mom's dress. I forgot it. So anyway, all I want to tell you is that, like, I know there's been some hardships because of how different Mohamed and I are, and we're from different worlds, but ultimately what it's about is love. And love can transcend anything. And as humans, that's literally what we have to remember. Like, we're all the same. Like, it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what language you speak. Like, we're all human beings. So I hope that, like, that our love can just show everyone, no matter what the differences are, that if you truly have love, you can transcend anything, like all the hard things. Whether you think they're a challenge or not, like, try to just understand and honor who each other is for their differences versus, like, basically hold it against them, like chastise them for that. Like, I would never do that to my son because he's different. So, like, seriously, why do we need things to separate us? Let's have a common goal to make our lives better for everyone. We all deserve that. That's like our divine right. And don't let things separate you politically, religion, nothing. Why? Remember, we're all human, all of us. So let's stick together. Love you. I got my barred piece. Mohamed doesn't even know. It says prayer beads. It's kind of like a rosary. But he has no idea. I needed something borrowed. So here it is. So I will show up at a wedding with this and he has no idea. Love you guys. Okay, I wish you all the happiness, success, prosperity, peace of mind, everything. Love you.
So, before I even read the caption, so Eve decides to come out to make a video regarding her relationship with Mohamed, as well as her son. I tell you what, before I even get into my own thoughts about what the hell just happened in that whole speech, let's get into the caption and we can then give the full summary. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Eve begins by saying, myself and my fellow cast members have put their lives on hold to some capacity. This moment in time is where I was at the day of my wedding. These are some of my memories I had to not reveal in real time. So right now she's obviously justifying a lot of things that we witnessed on the TV show. And I guess things that we've also witnessed off the show, like exposing Mohamed's antics. But anyway, we'll proceed as if that never happened, because that's what Eve is so good at doing, proceeding as if nothing's ever happened. The ultimate message is the following that we will continue to commit atrocities. I can't say the bloody word, can I? Atrocities, my apologies, against one another. If we continue to be inhuman to one another, that is the point of this. And what happened to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. You know what though? Let me just stop real quick right there. Did she watch the season that we've all just witnessed? Did she pay attention to her relationship with Mohamed? She's talking about if you have nothing to say, then don't say anything at all. But here's the thing though. Shouldn't you be saying that to Mohamed? Because he's the guy that called you sponsor on the day of your wedding. Soon after you was married, instead of saying, you know, my wife, he said sponsor. Is that a nice thing to say? Because as far as I'm concerned, isn't that something that you should keep to yourself if you have nothing nice to say? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mohamed multiple times threaten to leave her and go back to Egypt unless she changed her ways? And what ways were they? Oh yeah, there were the ways of her becoming more of a Muslim type woman rather than becoming, I guess, in Mohamed's eyes, more of an American type woman. And she's talking about differences. But she's acting as if she was willing to change herself or she was willing to compromise differences throughout the season. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mohamed definitely wasn't looking to do it too, which is even more interesting. She's telling us things that neither herself or Mohamed even portrayed, even fulfilled in the season. But yet she wants to come out and justify it and then say if you have nothing good to say, then don't say anything at all. I tell you what, if you don't want no one to comment on your life, then don't go on a TV show, you moron. Only a moron would go on a TV show and then say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Everybody knows the world of social media now. Everybody knows the second that you put yourself on the internet, the second you put yourself on a TV screen, people are going to have opinions. People are going to want to say them. It is as simple as that. It is not about whether it's right or wrong. It's about that is the world. Don't act so oblivious. But then again, though, Eve, on the other hand, is very good at acting oblivious. But nonetheless, though, let's proceed with this ruckus of a nonsense message, caption, shall I say. I have said there is no comment for time being, yet you're making a comment now, but okay. It will all make more sense in time. As they say, patience is a virtue. I'm curious. Patience might be a virtue, but creating more and more traumatic experiences for your son. Process that. So you can talk about us being patient, but that patience is potentially causing more and more damage to the people around you. And correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't she the one who brought all of her friends to a dinner table with Mohamed, and they were all asking him ridiculous questions? But hold on a minute. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. It's funny how she's telling us certain things, but yet she was unable to preach or fulfill those things in the show. But as far as I'm concerned, your friends were saying very mean things or asking very unnecessary questions, and you did nothing but to tell them. But you did not tell them to not say anything if they have nothing nice to say. In fact, you encouraged them. You even said your 2 cents as well. And even though your friends said you shouldn't be marrying this man, what did you do? You still married him anyway. So it's like, why did you bring your friends' opinions in the first place if you was never going to listen to them in the first place? Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't make sense out of nothing because you don't pay attention to diddly flipping nothing. But nonetheless though, let's continue. Okay, where was we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. If people had more understanding, kindness, and patience, maybe they wouldn't hurt other people. Let me continue. Can we leave the world a better place with our actions emotionally, physically, and psychologically? I mean, listen, dearie me, yes we can, but I don't think you qualified for that because, to be honest with you, what you did and how you behaved, as well as the rest of the cast members, doesn't follow anything that you just said there. But let's continue. My primary focus every day is my son. Well, that's a lie because your primary focus throughout the whole bloody season was to make sure that Mohamed stayed in America and he didn't leave you. And your primary thing was also to make sure that you became Mohamed's sponsor rather than his wife. But yet you want to tell us that your primary focus every day is your son. I mean, don't get me wrong though. Who am I to say that her primary focus is not her son? Maybe it is her son and we just didn't see that, which is understandable. Fair enough. But at the same time, though, there is a primary reason, and then of course there's a secondary, and there's so on, right? People don't have this conversation or don't even process this. Your secondary can easily make a domino effect on your first. So if your son is your primary focus, Mohamed is your secondary, or maybe your Mohamed is even the joint primary focus. But clearly in this one, you're saying your son is, so that means Mohamed is second. Process that how your second makes you feel will always make an impact more or less on the first one. If it's a negative situation with the secondary is definitely going to make an impact on the first one. It's like when you get mommy and daddy, they are together in a relationship for a while, but then they break up, they end up being toxic when it comes to co-parenting. Both your primary focus is your kid, but guess what? Because mommy and daddy is toxic, what happens? It still affects the child anyway. So she can talk about primary this, primary that, but it ain't gonna change a goddamn thing. Let's continue. I have less than 5 months to try to turn his condition around. My mother is currently ill and has a pre-existing condition. I need to be more on my toes for them. They are the two most important people to me. So I say, be kind be kind. Life is hard enough, right? So she didn't know it. She didn't actually mention Mohamed in her post, but she did obviously mention Mohamed in the video. So obviously Mohamed is still one of those, most important people in her life. The only difference is the reason why in this post says the two most important people to me is only because she's referring to two people who are not in the best of conditions at this moment in time, which is completely understandable to why she has said that. But it doesn't change the fact that she has made a whole post, made a whole video justifying her actions, justifying Mohamed's actions, and also for some bizarre reason justifying the rest of the actions from the rest of the cast members. And to be honest with you, I find it quite insulting and quite embarrassing. No, quite insulting, quite saddening that she makes a whole post about the season, her cast members, her relationship, and in the end of it, she then finishes off with her son and her mother. So therefore, she can add in that sympathy touch. So therefore, when we read it, we can forget about the top, because you remember, she likes to forget about everything and ignore everything. So she wants us to ignore what she just said, which is complete BS, by putting in that little one at the end. My primary focus is my son and my mother. Here's the thing though, if she wanted to make a post that was genuine about her mother and her son, why don't you just make a post that, hey guys, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she hasn't done this, she has been doing this, but why don't you just be like, hey guys, the season's finally over. I know you guys saw a lot of things, but I'll be back at another point to give you guys obviously my opinions, but for the time being, I really need to focus on my son and my mother, because those are the most important things to me right now, and we'll be back, blah, 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 blah. But instead, she gives us this whole video with a whole explanation and then ends off with the sympathy act. I can't be falling for a sympathy act, and I can't be feeling sorry for a sympathy act. But one thing that I can feel sorry for and feel sad for is what her son is going through, and also what her mother's going through as well. That is not something that anyone should be going through. So I really do feel sorry for them. And if I did pray, I would pray for them, if you think what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, though, even on the other hand, nah, no sympathy for you, dearie. No. Talking about if you have nothing nice to say. And that's another thing. If you have nothing nice to say, then why would you spend so much time making a whole freaking video with a whole freaking caption that is basically telling us to shut the hell up? Isn't that not a nice thing to say? Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm blowing the casket. Who knows? You let me know what you're thinking in the comment section, and we'll talk about it. But hey, it's been nice having you guys here as per usual. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. We are on the road to 40K, and we are done and we are out. Peace.